Yo guys, it's Kyle coming at you from Bane's Film Reviews. I just saw We Live in Time, directed by John Crowley, starring Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. It follows a relatively young couple that happen upon one another, fall in love, have a daughter, live life together to the best of their ability. It's a really interesting way in which this story is told. It's told almost in little vignettes throughout the course of their life. And it bounces back and forth from past to present to, I guess not future. I don't know if we ever... I would almost say we make it to the future at some point. I think we sort of find our place in the narrative, and we exist there, and we get to see something beyond that. And it bounces back and forth. It's not like it's a series of flashbacks. It's sort of all over the place. And it's really interestingly told, like I said, and I think it's told very, very well. We are never stuck in one piece of the story. We are never caught in any sort of a linear, monotonous journey through life. It is very much a slice of life film, but we don't ever feel like we're just moving along at the same pace as we would in real life. Being pulled back and forth and in a series of different directions allows us to constantly focus, anticipate what's happening next, what happened in the past, and even what's currently happening, because there's so much happening at the same time that we're constantly reeling and trying to figure out what is exactly happening and when and where. It's really, really well done. It's paced beautifully. The film is acted beautifully. And I sat in the theater for the last hour and 48 minutes. I was the only person in that theater. And I was gathering my thoughts, knew exactly what I was going to say about how this film made me feel, and I sat down, and all of a sudden, those things escaped me, and I don't think that's because I didn't prepare well enough, or I just simply forgot. I just feel almost at a loss of words for how to describe what this film does to you emotionally, because it's so incredible. And I can remember feeling both so optimistic and happy and just so sad and depressed at the same time. I both laughed and cried at the same time. It just does something to your emotional state that's so difficult to describe, and you can see me struggling to get the words out because I don't know how to describe this in an appropriate way. At least I don't think so. Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield are phenomenal actors, as we all know. We tend to connect them to the MCU and Marvel films, both playing spider variants of sorts. They are incredible. And there is a moment in the film where it reminds me very much of the scene between Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story. There's that level of gravitas, and it's just so incredibly well acted, and they play off of one another so well, and they just continue to build on top of the emotion in a series of ways. And as soon as you go, wow, what a fucking asshole, you're judging one of these characters, and immediately they're able to reel you back in, and you go, oh my god, I get it. And again, there's just another layer, another bit of depth to this emotional film, where there was times where I felt angry with or at these characters, and again, it was paired with something else. There's never one singular feeling in this film. Not at any moment is there a singular feeling. It's constantly pulling you in different directions and just piling on a series of emotions that become very difficult to overcome, and even just to stomach as you're watching this film. And that really is a testament not only to this incredible script and the way that it's paced, but to Garfield and Pugh. They are just impeccable, and I'm so impressed with what they do. I have said this a couple times this year, and I only say this when I absolutely mean it. I think that Pugh should be up for an Oscar for Best Actress in a Leading Role. She is that good. Garfield is phenomenal. He is almost of that caliber in this film, but she takes the cake for me, and I think that she does exactly what she needs to, and sometimes even beyond that. I am so impressed with this film as a whole. It left me feeling so depressed, and yet again, somehow optimistic. Jealous of these characters, hating aspects of their personality, and realizing that I have those things in common with them. It's just such a well made movie. And I questioned for a half of a second, more than that really, whether or not this was a perfect film. And while, again, I don't subscribe to the idea that there are perfect films, and I will not, I will not award We Live in Time a perfect score of 10 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10 because I think it's as close to perfect as you can get, even down to the most minute details. The hair and makeup is spectacular. There's a use of prosthetics, a bit of that in the film, and that is just flawless. It's an absolutely incredible film, and if your theater is showing this, I know that only one of the theaters near me is showing this. It's frustrating when films like this don't get the love that they deserve. Get to your local theater before it is gone. It is, in my opinion, the best A24 film to date. And that's saying something because those films are spectacular. They are so well done, time and time again. They never disappoint, and this is no exception. It exceeds expectations in just about every way possible. Again, I give We Live in Time a 9.5 out of 10. Drop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Go to the theater. Bring someone you love with you. Don't sit in the theater by yourself and be lonely and cry like I did. Cry with someone you care about because this film is fantastic. Until next time, peace.